broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host here, Mike Roday, is in studio, and he's the award-winning author and human behavior expert. Now, we're live streaming during our show on 4 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch, TV, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We're friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
All right. Well, welcome to Studio 401. That's right. Studio 401. We're excited to be here. We're in a new studio. Last week's episode, if you got it, was Nathan Unplugged. So now we are here ready to go. Mr. Gourday, how do you like the new studio?
I already answered that question. I'm gonna take the fifth on
All
that.
right. Okay. Well, we're in our new studio. We're excited to be here. Odie's got a bunch of new toys that she's playing with that she got to get for the audio board. We got Mr. Gourday here ready to go. And we got Mark that is doing our top of the month whiskey tasting. We're excited. And now let's talk about what we actually have on the lineup for today's show. Today we have hot topics you're not going to want to miss, including the world leaders just wrapped up an artificial intelligence action summit in Paris, where they tackled the future of AI and its potential to reshape our world. We'll give you some inside scoop of what was discussed and why it matters. Ever wonder what happens when AI tries to write a book? We're going to dive into the fantastic story of this with the creative community buzzing and maybe a little bit terrified. Plus, there's some unsettling news from the cybersecurity front. The CISA staffers have been ordered to deferred resignation, raising some serious questions about our digital defense. And that's not all. Gwenway is back with not one, but 2 exciting gadgets and gear items that I know she and myself have been eyeing. Trust you don't want to miss her pick. And, of course, we have an action-packed show with our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, a possible Nathan Nugget, and, of course, our pick of the day, whiskey tasting that we've selected. Now, today is the top of the month, so we have 4 whiskeys. Look at that, 4 whiskeys, Mike's in front of us. So that's going to be, by the time we get to the end of the show, it's going to be fantastically a little drunk or a little tipsy. Okay, yeah. All right, you know what? Let's get ready to go into the headline in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right. Yesterday, the world leaders attended the first Artificial Intelligence Action Summit in Paris. This is the 3rd meeting that they've had regarding AI. And let's go to Corinne Westland for more on this story.
Representatives from 80 countries, including world leaders, tech bosses, academics, and other experts, gather for a 2-day global summit to discuss progress and future goals for artificial intelligence, the rapidly evolving, hugely disruptive technology. That might be on the official agenda of the Artificial Intelligence Action Summit, but something else is breathing fire into this particular discussion. China is dramatically blowing the AI competition in a new direction with DeepSeek, the super efficient and super viral AI assistant. Suddenly, there's a feeling at the summit that the pole position, once occupied by the U.S., might not be out of reach after all. Back to you guys in the new studio.
All right. Look at that. Corinne even knows too. All right. So let's talk about this. Now, nothing's better than sending the U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and OpenAI chief Sam Altman to represent the United States. Now, there is no Elon Musk there. He's notably absent from the official guest lists.
He's busy doing other things.
He's doing other things. Yeah, that's all right. All right. Now, there's been 2 previous summits. The first one was held in the UK and the second one in South Korea. Now, lots happened since the AI world gathered for the first time. DeepSeek, though, is the topic. Everybody's talking about it. It's shaking up the AI sector in a way that not even AI itself might have predicted, and it's wiped a lot of money off the value of these bigger players in the United States with supposedly their processes. Now, I'm certain there's going to be a huge topic that will continue even after the conference. But what I still don't get, and I talked about this in my Unplugged episode last week, is DeepSeek has been down. It has been down more times than actually up for this AI intelligence. So if I come out with a product and the product isn't working and it's never up, does that really kind of shape the market that everybody needs to be concerned about it, Mike? Well, I mean, if you can't have an app work, why is there so much concern about DeepSeek, do you think?
Well, clearly that's not a factor because DeepSeek has sent everybody into a tizzy about what's going on in the AI world anyway. So it's not a matter of whether or not it works. It's a matter of what it's going to do to everybody else's stuff. Yeah. So, everybody's flipping out about it.
See, I still don't get DeepSeek. So OpenAI has been out for really kind of in the market now for almost 2 years. It's kind of funny that it's almost been 2 years since AI has really kind of come to the market. The last, I'd probably say 8 months, OpenAI, ChatGPT, all these names have come to be kind of synonymous with AI that everybody uses each and every day. If you go to Microsoft Bing and you do a search that has a Copilot that comes up and it lets you search for different stuff in AI. That is built on the NVIDIA platform. And we've talked about this many times. That is built on hardware. That is running out of computing space. And again, DeepSeek just copied a lot of the large language models that have already been developed by OpenAI, say that it's running on lesser systems, say that they've done this successfully. There hasn't been tons of proof. No one has actually had the ability to see what their initial investment was. It was just an announcement that's out there. And yet this is driving a global summit with information where people are concerned about China getting into the AI movement because they said they've done it for cheap and for less. I'm just so interested in how this gets pressed. This is like
this gets pressed because it generates emotions.
Okay.
That's how all this stuff works. If you can generate an emotion, you can get attention. That's how these things fly around into the top tiers of media,
news feeds and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and China's known for this kind of thing, right? We saw a lot of this during the pandemic where they would make some sort of statement about something and everybody would just, absolutely lose their minds over it.
Yeah. And you have Temu and you have these other places that are selling stuff that's cheap. Now, I've done a couple of purchases on Temu recently that's supposed to get them from China. And guess what? 2 of those purchases that I've done, I purchased a product online. They actually then came on back this dirt cheap product that I got some tablecloths, like 300 tablecloths for a big event that I do. And what happened is I actually put the order in and they came back to me and then said that they couldn't fulfill my order. So they had this price list there. Then I went to another item that was available a little bit higher in price. And they said that they couldn't fulfill that one either. But then the high price of like $9, which is the same price I could get in the United States, when I did that order, they said that they had that available.
Probably because they were getting it from the United States.
Is it okay? That's what it is. All right. Okay. Well,
the thing is that they talk.
Yeah.
And as soon as they open their official mouths and start saying things, everybody just sort of wigs out about it.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? Let's move on to story number 2. You got that one, Mike. What do we got going on?
I don't know why you keep giving me all these AI stuff.
Well, come on. This is right up your alley, right?
This is yeah, it's right up my complaint alley.
Okay, well,
how an AI written book shows why tech terrifies creatives.
Okay.
What if for Christmas you received an interesting gift from a friend labeled my very own best-selling book? Tech-splaining for Dummies. That's That's a pretty cool title.
You like that title?
It bears the name and photo on his covers, and it has glowing reviews. Yet AI wrote it entirely with a few simple prompts supplied by a friend. This happened to Zoe Kleinman, and she goes on to explain more of the book in the process. She says it's an interesting read and very funny in parts, but it also meanders quite a bit and is somewhere between a self-help book and a stream of anecdotes. It mimics her chatty style of writing, but it also a bit of repetitive and very verbose, which means wordy
Okay.
for you.
Wow.
It may
Potato, buddy.
potato.
All right.
It may have gone beyond Janet's prompts and collating data about the person. Several sentences begin as a leading technology journalist, which is cringeworthy. Could have been scraped from an online bio. There's also a mysterious repeated hallucination in the form of a cat, which the person has no pets, and there's a metaphor on almost every page, some more random than others. There are dozens of companies online offering AI book writing services, and this book was from Book by Anyone. 240-page paperback copy cost £26. Of course, this is
A UK.
coming from UK.
Yep.
The firm generates them using its own AI tools based on open source large language models. Legally, the copyright belongs to the firm, but the president stresses that the product is intended as a personalized gag gift and the books do not get sold further. He hopes to broaden his range, generating different genres such as sci-fi and perhaps offering an autobiography service. It's designed to be a lighthearted form of consumer AI selling AI-generated goods to human consumers.
Okay.
It's also a bit terrifying if you write for a living.
Yeah,
I don't write for a living,
You don't write, but you write for passion, right?
I write.
Okay.
I've been published.
Yep.
So I just don't do it for a living. The problem is that I've taken almost, at least a third of my lifespan crafting the art of writing.
Okay.
And the problem that creatives have is that AI can whip this out in probably less than a minute.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty quick, huh?
Well, yeah, given the fact that if you've ever written a book, it doesn't take a minute. It takes months and months.
Months and months. Yep.
Ed Newton Rex, who I have no idea who this is, describes this as insanity. He points out that AI can make advances in areas like defense, healthcare, and logistics without trawling the work of authors, journalists, and artists. All these things work without going and changing copyright law and ruining the livelihood of the country's creatives. Creative industries are wealth creators. 2.4 million jobs are listed.
Okay.
The government is undermining one of its best performing industries on the vague promise of growth.
Okay.
So this is why this bothers me. This AI, when the way we use AI, it simply devalues human ingenuity and work and craft and all the things that we do in a life. And as it progresses and gets better at it, the less value humans have in the way that they can produce and work and do things.
Okay. All right. So now I did buy the very first AI published book on Amazon.
Yeah, I think you also wrote your own, didn't you?
I had one that was actually I did do. I
did like a children's book.
Choose
or
your own
something?
adventure.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
A choose your own adventure type of deal, and it was kind of interesting at the time. I have not done it on the new ChatGPT model. I'm sure it gets better and better and better. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because you know what? I don't want to read a sci-fi book that is AI generated for casual reading. I do want to read something that someone creates instead of just some AI making up stuff.
Right now, that's still.
You're not going to get a good AI book. Now.
You're not going to get it's always going to have some weird flaw or some. Because it
Darth
doesn't
Vader
have,
all of a sudden disappears and he dies in
yeah,
one
it doesn't have
back.
any sense. The thing that's working in our favor is that AI has no sense of morality or sense of logical progression.
Yep.
into human behavior. So that's what we got going for us. for those of us who do write for either a living or as a hobby or whatever.
Okay. All right. Well, the story number 3 is going to make you feel more uplifted. I can tell you that.
Yeah, sure.
All right, all right.
Yeah, I'm completely happy. Love everything about AI all the time.
All right. Well, how about cybersecurity?
Oh, this is my favorite subject.
So if you were at our production meeting, I went off on our production meeting last week. I did for this show. So I apologize to all the staff members.
Why do you need to apologize?
Because I really went off on stuff, and I normally like to stay pretty neutral. But let's just talk about that. The CISA staffers. So these are our government cybersecurity individuals that protect the United States government. Okay, that we talked about this over the last 4 years. Our previous president spent a lot of time in actually putting together some councils that would come on in, make it easier for people to share data, consolidated all the cybersecurity into one company. Well, the CISA staffers were offered the deferred resignations, extending broader cybersecurity fears. Employees at the Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity, and Infrastructure Security Agencies, or CISA, have been given deferred resignations offers as a part of the Trump administration's broader effort to shrink the federal government. CISA plays a key role in defending critical U.S. infrastructure. However, last week, some CISA staffers were given the offer and just hours to decide whether to accept it, according to sources that spoke to many different press outlets on conditions of anonymity.
This is happening all across the spectrum of departments and divisions. Of
and I'm only talking about the cybersecurity aspects, right? Because we're technology. So I'm going to keep it in there. DOGE staffers have been entering federal agencies from the State Department to the Treasury Department for the past week, demanding access to sensitive files and systems and prompting widespread protest and legal challenges. Now, what's really interesting is they're going on in with hard drives. They're going in with hard drives, not encrypted hard drives, plugging them into these systems and copying down data and information regarding transactions, what's going on, and then leaving the premise, the secured premise, to an undislocated location that nobody knows about. And then that they're going to go through and review all of this information. So your information is being transferred. Now, the ranks of the cybersecurity experts within the federal government might get thinner, and outside entities without cleared credentials have access to data without safety guards. Is this any worse than a cybersecurity hacker getting into our data? Which then goes back to the whole idea, I don't really care that China has my data, and I'll say that again and again.
Well, yeah, that's probably where they got all their DeepSeek stuff.
Well, you know what? Or you know what? Now I can just get it on any site that will have my information published. I just that's killing me. I hope that none of the existing staff hopefully signed any of the 9-month or whatever offers were to retire, and hopefully we can keep our security as our nation a top priority for cybersecurity threats. We did a good job in the last three and a half years of not having any real major breaks that have come into our government with our data.
Yeah, well, things change.
Okay, well, that ends our top technology stories of the week. Moving on, we have our gadgets and gear gal, Gwen Way, on the show, and she has not one but 2 gadgets to review. I'm interested in keeping my eye on this segment. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. See you after the commercial break.
Looking for custom glass solutions for your next commercial project? Hartung Glass Industries is your trusted partner in custom glass fabrication. For over 100 years, Hartung has delivered proven manufacturing expertise, comprehensive product offerings, and dependable service and quality. From energy-efficient facades to custom shower doors, we create glass solutions tailored to your project needs. With 8 facilities across the U.S. and Canada, we combine national expertise with a local touch-ensuring faster service and unparalleled customer care. Hartung Glass Industries, where quality meets innovation. Visit hartungglass.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mum. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And, of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is back. And as the start of the month tradition, we're going to have our 4 tastings here. Mark, tell us what we are doing in our second round of tastings for the calendar.
All right, I'm going to remind our viewers that we are using the 2024 Flavor Whiskey Event Calendar, Advent Calendar. 24 remarkable whiskeys to use for our year-long blind whiskey competition to see which one Nathan and Mike like best. Now, come along for the ride once every month while they uncover new tastes and train their senses to try and become true connoisseurs. Today is round 2.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Round 2, where they're going to choose the winner to move on to the semifinals. If they disagree, I will be the deciding vote.
Oh.
Now, today, all 4 of the samples are bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
Bourbon is named after the House of Bourbon, a powerful French dynasty. Now, in response to 1791's Whiskey Rebellion, George Washington decided to incentivize the disgruntled tax-evading settlers to move southwards to Kentucky, then still part of Virginia. The governor, Thomas Jefferson, doled out 60 acres of land to each Pennsylvanian transplant who agreed to produce native corn, American whiskey, on their land.
Corn squeezins.
Jefferson christened the new settlement Bourbon County after the French Bourbon dynasty, which held court over Spain and most of Italy in the 18th century. Once the whiskey started flowing, distillers began shipping their wares down the Missouri and Ohio rivers, stamping Bourbon County on each barrel to mark its origin, and ultimately giving the drink its permanent name.
Very nice.
All right, so
So these are their 4 contenders.
look at the yellow bottle. The yellow bottle is
drink them,
darkest.
go through each 4, and then make sure the next time go back the other direction.
I've done that.
Okay.
So this is yellow's got a darker color, but I can just take a look at it that I'm tasting here, and this has a pretty bitter little taste here. But I do like the blue is a little bit smoother, so I get the bite with the yellow. And then I got the smoothness from the blue. It kind of just goes all the way down from bite, a little bit of bite, okay bite, into nothing there. What you gonna play? You're playing with your little sound effects there. All right, there we go. Okay, well, Mark, do you have one of these that is your favorite?
Oh, yes, I do.
You do.
I do. I have them all ranked.
You have them all ranked. I kind of like the first one, but I don't know if
That
you
was the
set
one
up
you
the
really had this
It
weird
has a
reaction
bite,
to.
but it looks like it's the by looking at him, it looks like it's bad. All right, now with our whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment. Today, we have Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the game and a game board geek in the evenings, as well as a producer of Tech Time Radio and our Gadgets and Gear Gal. Let's get ready to start our Comcast video stream to start our next segment.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right. Welcome back to the show, Gwen. For all those that are new listeners, tell them a little bit about yourself.
Sure thing. As you say, I work in cybersecurity. I've been doing technology work for about 25 years now, and I love it. There's just always something new to find.
All right. Perfect. All right. So this is going to be really interesting today because I told you that I was actually looking at one of these projects to invest in before you even brought it up. But you have 2 different items. So explain why you're kind of going a little rogue. We like that, but you're kind of going a little rogue. What are we going to be talking about today?
So we are talking about AI glasses or smart glasses. We've kind of touched on them in the past, but we haven't really found any that I thought lived up to the Gadgets and Gears level.
Okay.
We've got the old standby. I think it was Google that came up with some glasses that were just extremely heavy and very obvious, and nobody really
And very
liked them.
controversial.
Very controversial.
Yes.
Exactly. And it's just interesting to watch kind of the technology evolve and change as we get more things available to make them more wearable, more comfortable, and capable of doing even more things.
All right. So one of these I really like. One of these I almost invested with before even having you on the show, but I haven't backed any of these yet. So I'll just tell you, none of these have been backed yet. but I'm going to take your expertise to help us decide what I'm going to back. One of these is going to get my backing by the end of today. So you're going to need to tell us. So what are we going to start out with our first glasses? What is that?
Okay. The first one is by a company called Halliday, named after James Halliday from Ready Player One.
Okay.
This is actually probably the most technologically advanced version that we're going to be talking about today. And it includes one thing that the other doesn't, and that is an actual display.
Okay.
So with this, you would be able to actually call up things and see visually on the screen in front of you. Kind of cool thing about that, in the past, it's been very easy for other people to tell that you're watching things and oftentimes see what you're watching. But this actually has some security built into the lenses so that other people are not able to see the display.
Okay. Okay. So if I'm looking at I think it's a green screen type of overlay. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
So I can sit in my meetings and watch YouTube.
It doesn't quite
Can I
have
do
that
that?
interface yet,
Well,
right?
It's
So
not quite there.
it's
but
like a
it is-
menu
they are
selection.
working on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
So
what good is it then if I can't sit around in my meetings and do other things?
yeah, you're supposed to go to meetings and actually pay attention to what you're doing.
Mhm.
Okay.
You don't
All
work
right.
for the government.
Okay. All right. So you work for the government. All right. So now, so that's the first glasses. What's the second pair? Let's talk about the second pair.
The second pair is actually more about kind of a traditional smart glass.
Okay.
You're able to use AI and ask questions, listen to answers, and take pictures and video.
Okay. Okay.
There are two things, though. This is actually from a company called Lumos,
Okay.
which is somewhat familiar. This is a division of Charge, and we actually have talked about their gadgets before. This
Yep.
is the Starship Seer, which is a battery pack. We also shouted out the Shark 2, which I think both of us actually ended up purchasing.
Yep, we did. Yep. So you got one company. So this is kind of cool because you got one company that's actually delivered on a couple of Kickstarters and is known as a technology company coming out with what I would consider not a lower end, but it doesn't have all the same feature functionality as the top brand does. The top brand was the one that I was looking at to possibly back, and I think there was already 2 million. We'll get into these numbers. So I think there's like 2 million in finances that have been committed to this Kickstarter. So I mean, that's not like a Kickstarter. That's like creating a brand new business for this
absolutely.
type of deal. So let's now, since I kind of talked about it, let's go into each of these. Let's talk about the high end version, and this is the Halliday, and talk about how many backers, how many days are left, kind of what you get, and then we'll do the Lumos, which is the company that we have already gotten stuff from.
Not a problem. So the Halliday already has 5,500 backers and is, as you said, over $2 million pledged for this.
Okay.
It is open until March 8th, 2025. So you still have a fair amount of time if you want to do your research and make your decision of which one you want. There are a couple of things about this. It is using a proprietary AI, which is similar to ChatGPT, but not actually one of the AI technologies that we are familiar with.
Okay.
It does have a longer lasting battery, which is nice, but doesn't really have a way to easily recharge on the go.
Okay. So tell me about that. How do you charge that unit?
You would actually have to plug it into a special charging unit.
Okay.
It's got a 12-hour battery life, so you're probably going to be okay for one day.
Yeah.
But definitely you would need to have it back on the charger that night in
Okay.
order to be ready for the next
And
day.
that's kind of interesting because at glasses, if you're going to use an AI glasses or standard glasses, 12 hours may seem like a lot of time, but that's not necessarily a lot of time, right? Because you keep your glasses on until you go to bed at night, and then you get up in the morning, you put your glasses on. So a 12-hour stint would be I probably 14, 15 hours that I have my glasses on if I had glasses that were available there. So
Exactly. So that's something to keep in mind.
okay.
One thing that is nice about both of these models, I want to touch on both of them for a second, is that they both can have prescription lenses put in,
Okay.
which means that you're going to be able to use them as your everyday glasses. Now, The Hallidays, you will have to get the lenses from them because it does include some of the technology for the heads-up display.
All right. Okay.
Going to the Lumos, they also are at just over 5,500 backers. They are sitting just under 1.5 million brought in. And you'll find that the difference on that is that they are less expensive, probably because they do not include the display.
Okay.
They are actually using ChatGPT 4.0.
Okay.
So we know that is an
Pretty
AI
standard
that we know
pattern
and trust.
platform.
Exactly. And has been tested extensively. It's got a fairly good learning model at this point, and most, but not all, hallucinations are taken care of.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so quick recap. The expensive pair is how much to do Kickstarter?
Right now, you can get the expensive pair for $399
Okay.
as an early bird special.
And the inexpensive pair?
The inexpensive pair you can get for $199, or you can also get one with a power bank that you wear around your neck.
Okay.
For $249 to extend the length of usability for those.
All right, now the most important aspect here, are you going to buy one of these?
I am eyeing those Lumos. We've had such good results with Charge in the past. I love my Seer. I love my Charge Bank. I really like them, and I don't think that, at least right now, that heads-up display is actually going to be
needed,
as functional as it could be.
That makes sense. And you know what? And you get ChatGPT, which is a known product for your AI. Exactly. I am going to probably lean that way now, too. All right. Okay, Gwen. You know what? It's always great having you on the show. So let me ask, what do you have coming up for next month? So, and this is Valentine's month, right? So this is February. So you can get your loved one some glasses with AI. What a perfect gift. What are you looking at to get for?
Better.
Yeah, that's right. So you can see each other better. What are you looking at for next month? Do you already have something on the horizon, or are you still looking?
I'm still looking right now. So if any of the listeners out there want to shoot us some messages and maybe give us suggestions, I'm more than happy to take those. But I'm sure we'll have something fun.
All right. That sounds great. All right. Gwen, we thank you so much for being a part of the show. We always look forward to seeing you. Can't wait to see you next month. And thank you so much for all that you do as a producer also of our show each and every week.
Thank y'all, and have good days.
Bye, Gwen.
All right.
Bye.
That ends our gadgets and gear. Up next, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today?
All right, Mike. So you know what? I have a nice book here. Let me tell you, The Threads of Chaos, available on Amazon. Do you know anything about this book?
I know nothing.
You know nothing about this book? Look at that, a big picture of Mr. Gourdet on the back. So my question for you is, how do creative writers leverage AI in this changing landscape so that they don't lose their creativity, but can still use some of the tools that are available for them to be successful?
I think from a writing aspect, I think I would use it to check my grammar.
Okay.
You know, that's one of the hardest pieces of writing is grammar checking and spelling checking, and unless it can edit things.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if you go on Amazon and just download some books, you're gonna find a whole lot of people that don't know how to write.
Okay.
Because that's what today's technology has done. Everybody writes a book, they can put it on Amazon, and then it's not edited. It has horrible spelling errors. They're not well put together. So
okay. So you use it for spelling.
Mine was edited. Stop looking.
All right. Okay. Was yours edited? I was just going to go through there and start reading.
It was edited.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, there you go. Well, thank you, Mike, for your mesmerizing moment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now it'd be a good time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side. We're going to be doing so during the break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mum. See you in a few minutes.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us,
That's
we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm
like
the
us
English
in
guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You know you butcher the English
Okay,
language
so it's,
all the time.
it's patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you
/
if you really like our show, you can subscribe to Patreon.com and help us out.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on.
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you know what our Facebook page is?
Tech Time Radio.
At Tech Time Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's Tech Time Radio,
Or you can even Instagram with us.
and that's at Tech Time Radio,
That's at Tech Time Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
and it's Tech Time Radio.
It's at Tech Time Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
Like
media.
us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it.
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going to the Wayback Machine here. We're going to February 11th, 2004. This was the first use of the word podcast. In an article called Audible Revolution, published by The Guardian on this date, Ben Hammersley described the trend of amateur radio on the internet. With no established names for the new phenomenon, Hammersley suggested the terms audio blogging, guerrilla media, and podcasting. Given the popularity of the Apple iPod and how many people were using the iPod to listen to these pre-recorded audio shows, the term podcast stuck, and the rest is history. Well, speaking of history, guess what? You can take a look at over 230 plus weekly broadcasts spanning our 4+ years of videos, podcast, and blog information at techtimeradio.com to watch our older shows. We're going to take another commercial break, and when we return, we have Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review. See you after this.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TECHTIME. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for, Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
All right.
All right. Today,
Yes.
what is February 11th to you? What are you celebrating?
February 11th.
Payday.
Payday? February 11th. So that would be, isn't Valentine's Day the 12th?
No.
What's Valentine's
The
Day?
14th.
The 14th. Okay. All right. Valentine's Day.
Sorry,
So-
Tracy.
Yeah, well, we don't get me going on that Hallmark holiday.
We don't need to listen to him rant about Valentine's Day.
That's right. All right. So, I don't know. I was. It's got to be some type of. So we got whiskey. We got Mark. I'm gonna say it's some type of Roman type of holiday. I'm gonna go back into like some Roman holiday.
Do you have a big?
No.
Are we having?
No.
Are we going to get an audio clue today? or-
Yeah.
No, he is right on the money though.
Am I on the money?
Oh, 100%.
That's because
Wow.
he looked it up.
I have not. I have not looked it up.
It is Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day.
Oh, that's not quite the same.
I don't know how
There you
he's
go.
going for
I was excited, and now
I know.
Okay, don't cry over spilled milk.
Now, so if you think a day on the calendar dedicated to not crying over spilled milk sounds silly,
I have a sign.
So
that
do we.
I have a sign that says, "Don't cry over spilled milk. It could be worse. It could be whiskey." Have you seen that sign?
yes, I have.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
alcohol abuse.
Yeah. Okay. Well, sorry. Keep on going.
Yeah, here it is right on our calendar every February 11th. Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day. Are you wondering who ever cries over spilled milk except for little tykes? Could Nathan or Mike be crying over spilled milk? We
Oh,
don't
I
I
even
feel
know
like
it.
Nathan would cry over spilled
I
milk.
did. I would. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do not cry over spilled milk. However, as Nathan says, if we were to spill our whiskey here,
Yeah.
there'd be a chance I would cry.
That would be too. Okay.
Now, here are 4 whiskeys unspilled
Yeah.
that we are tasting today.
Okay. I'm still between my blue and yellow. I think green is now going out. But okay. Tell us
All right.
about what we got.
So let's talk about your blue and your yellow then. So blue is Bullhead Bourbon. This is from Spirits Lab Distillery in Newburgh, New York. It's straight bourbon, 5 years, 90 proof. It is 70% corn, 20% wheat, 5 malted barley, which is a strange mash bill because that only adds up to 95%. Yeah. There's another secret 5% out there.
Ooh.
And it is $45.
Okay.
And then the yellow one is Barrel Foundation from Barrel Craft Spirits. It's a blend of Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Maryland. Straight bourbons, all from those different states.
Okay, how much
it's
is that?
5 to 9 years blend. It's 100 proof, 73% corn, 23% rye. So it's kind of a high rye bourbon, 4% malted barley. That is $60.
Okay.
Now we go to green.
Yeah.
That is Breckenridge Distillers High Proof.
Oh.
So from Breckenridge Distillery, which is from Colorado. It is a bourbon. It's roughly 2 years old. It is 105 proof. The mash bill is unknown and it's $60.
Okay.
And then your red.
I eliminated that first for me.
Is Templeton Fortitude Bourbon.
Oh, I actually know that name too. Okay. Yeah.
So this is from the Templeton Distillery in Templeton, Iowa. It is straight bourbon. It is unaged stated, but it's at least 4 years old. It is 92 proof, 55% corn, 40% rye. So really a high rye.
That's the high rye. Okay.
And malted barley, 5%, $45.
$45.
Jesus. Mark, you have destroyed my bourbon thing, I guess.
Which one are you liking?
For the high rise.
Did you like the red one so far, Mike?
Yeah, I can't decide whether I like the red one or the yellow one better.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, there you go.
All right. So you guys may have a different number one. I may have to be the tiebreaker. I've already have them ranked.
Okay.
And so whichever one ranks higher of your two moves on.
Oh no.
Or we could cheat and move them both on if you
No. I don't
mind that either.
No, we don't have any ties here. They don't have any ties. We'll go for it. All right. Well, you know what? Whiskey and technology are a great pairing. Just like hot chocolate and a snowy winter day.
Oh, that's nice.
All right.
Okay, real quick.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed your pairing last week
Okay.
of the Muppets.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wanted to give you a shout out for that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was actually a
What
good
was
one.
it?
It had something to do with
Puppets and Muppets.
oh.
It
Was
was a
that what it
puppet.
was?
Yeah.
I thought it was a Jim Henson and the Muppets.
No, it was like the creation of puppets.
Oh,
and then the Muppets. You can't have.
Odie, yours is better pairing.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Thanks for ruining that.
Did you know that
moment for me.
Disneyland is getting rid of the
Disney World.
or Disney World? Thank you, Odie. Is getting rid of the Muppet
Not Muppet Vision.
Muppet Vision, and they're
in
going to put
Hollywood
them.
Studios.
Yeah, and they're going to put them into the roller coaster.
Yeah,
We'll
how
see.
dare they? But you know, whatever.
That's, there you go.
Long live Jim Henson.
Disney doesn't seem to be able to make good choices these
Anyway,
days.
other than that being a technology fail, what's
let's
technology
go
fail?
on to our technology fail.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, NASA and world-leading scientists have spent the last few weeks tracking to make an announcement about a new asteroid that they found out in space.
Nice.
Is this an asteroid? No. Guess what it is? It's Elon Musk's Tesla Roadster cruising through space that was launched in 2018 from the Falcon Heavy rocket.
It's an actual car.
It's an actual car. So Elon Musk is a part of his rocket deal. He launched a Tesla out there with a driver. It's like a dummy driver that's in there that is just out floating in space.
You know,
Now-
if I were a billionaire, I would probably do something like that.
Okay, well, less than days after astronomers announced the discovery of a new asteroid, they issued a correction. So this is big. They have put the hours into this, and they say that it's almost $300 million have been spent in hours of time tracking this asteroid, which is space junk. So the spacefaring object wasn't a space rocket.
So there's a
after
nice
all.
waste of money that Elon Musk caused.
Well,
That's what I'm saying.
They
You
can-
know, if you're a billionaire, you're going to waste money on things.
Yeah.
I think throwing your car into outer space, that's a pretty good waste.
This is a car speeding through our galaxy. It's the red Tesla Roadster belonging to Elon Musk. Musk famously shot his personal vehicle into space on February 6, 2018. His company SpaceX first tested the launch of its Falcon Heavy considered the world's most powerful rockets. It took off with the Roadster aboard as a payload headed towards Mars. Now, 7 years later, on January 2nd, the MPC said that the asteroid was orbiting more or less within 150,000 miles of Earth, closer than the moon's orbit, meaning that it qualified for a classification as a near-Earth object. It came with the notice the NPC is now erasing the asteroid from its record because professionally amateur astronomers, this is it, the amateur astronomers, high school kids knew that Elon Musk's sports car was out there. And they were the part of the rally cry to NASA and all these scientists that the designation of 2018CN41 was being deleted and admitted. The MPC says the global authority for identifying and designating and tracking the position of minor planets has made a correction. It's interesting because the center of this is located at the Harvard Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So you have all these scientists and NASA and all these other industries tracking this asteroid. And these young kids said, you know what? Could it be Elon Musk's car? And they were found to be right. What does that say?
That sounds like a movie plot.
That does sound like a movie plot.
Now wait a minute. That's
it's like Goonies 2.2.
No, that's the movie of that asteroid destroying.
Have you ever seen those sci-fi? The
it's
TV
not
network.
Armageddon.
Yeah.
It's Deep Impact.
Deep Impact.
The Wolf Biederman yeah.
And had to go. Didn't they drill on that one and then they destroyed it? So the drill helped.
No, that's Armageddon.
Stop, that Armageddon?
Stop mixing up your movies.
Now you're talking about crashes, so I'm wondering, Nathan, do you know if they know, since you've talked about automated cars all the time crashing, where is this one going to crash? Do you know?
It's gonna. So this is what's gonna end up happening. Elon Musk is gonna send up some space shuttle into space, and all of a sudden he's gonna run into his own car, and there's gonna be this big explosion, and then it's gonna be lost.
Crash into the International Space Station or something.
I just. What's that? How's that car recharging? You know, I mean,
solar energy. Solar energy.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna head out to our last commercial break. When we return, we have our Nathan Nugget, and of course, our eluded picks of the day. So sit back, raise a glass. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mum.
How to See a Man About a Dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, collected writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon, the Bookpository, and more.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right. Have you been getting a bunch of emails for the Amazon event that is coming on up? If you put all of your invites that have come, because there's been 5 different with graphics, you put all those pictures together, guess what it spells? It spells the word Alexa. Now, Amazon sent out 5 different invites for its upcoming project event, and as we talked about, the Alexa is the key word for Amazon's company's digital voice assistants. With some insider information, we can tell you this event will be about Alexa's long-awaited AI for its talking devices. Oh, there's my poor Alexa's going off right now.
Yep.
Alexa, stop. All right. The not-so-hidden message suggests that at the event, which is being held on February 26th in New York City, Amazon will launch the new generative AI-powered version of its voice assistant. First announced in September of 2023, this new voice has some numerous delays, along with reported struggles to merge Alexa's existing capabilities with the revamped voice assistant, but it looks like it's ready for go time now. According to people familiar with the matter, the upgrades for Alexa in this event will show off new features, including responding to multiple prompts in sequence and acting as an agent on behalf of the user by taking actions for them without even being directly involved.
Okay. What does that mean?
So that means that like you're just going to be sitting there watching TV, and then all of a sudden she's going to just decide to say, "Hey, Mike, how are you doing?"
Hey.
I don't know if she's going to be saying "Hey," but I think she will just come.
What are you watching?
What are you watching, Mike?
What are you wearing?
Does this mean
you like Simpsons? I want to hear more. That's what it's going to end up doing, right?
Does this mean that we can have like real conversations with the Alexa now?
I think that's the whole idea.
My conversation for Alexa is ask a question, listen to answer, yell at Alexa for giving me stupid information, having the thing beep and then me tossing it across the room.
So I think the idea is that you don't do that. The new service that is coming from Amazon's device and service division. Now, the former head of this, David Limp.
Wait. Can't wait.
What's that?
I have a feeling
Yeah.
they're going to be doing something to make more money.
Oh, that's right. Guess what? This new service will cost you about $10 a month for it.
What? For
Yes.
it to randomly ask you questions?
Yes.
That's
new
probably
AI.
why Alexa
You know
sucks
what?
so bad
You know
right now,
what?
because they're making it so I'm going to get so frustrated. I'm
Yes,
going to buy
$10
the
a
new
month
one.
to use this device. So you're going to get it. Now you can still hang on.
Hold on.
It says that they're going to allow you still to have the old version as the free version, but there could be a time when there is a go no go decision where you're going to have to pay for this service to continue to use your device.
So you're telling me I'm going to now have to pay what I already bought in advance to use the
How
voice
about
commands?
that? Amazon is like a drug
You know
dealer.
what I go from there?
What?
I go to Google.
Okay.
Okay, Google, blah, 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 blah.
There you go. Well, that's
Buy Alexa.
Yep.
Well,
She's always wrong anyway.
Well,
so,
they're saying that this new step is going to be a new
man, I hate subscriptions.
Well,
It's really what it
subscription
comes
fees
back
are
down
so okay, but you say that, but okay, let me ask you, do you have a Netflix subscription?
Nope.
Through T-Mobile, yes.
Okay, that's the way to do it. Do you have the free version through T-Mobile? Did you know there's a free version?
Yes, there's a free
But
version.
that comes with ads.
I don't know. At what
But do you
point?
pay for
at
it? Do
what
you pay for
point-
it?
We pay for it because we're a multi-family household.
Okay, and you want the multifamily streams.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So,
At what point do we get so ticked off about all this crap that we just push back?
Dude, cable is now the cheapest service I can get.
This is one of
Yeah.
those things that I don't understand why we don't get upset about, because
We do get
everybody,
upset,
but we just
yeah,
pay
but
it.
we're not doing
we,
it.
we get
just-
upset and
that's
then we
right.
pay
We
it.
end up paying it because it's a convenience factor. So like Amazon is acting like a drug dealer. They're like saying, "Here, try our product. Here, it's free." Yeah, you like it, right? Okay, now we're going to charge you $10 a month to get it.
Well, that's what we got there.
I mean,
Well, the Nathan Nugget is just wait for the meeting on February 14th, because that's when the big Alexa bosses decide what they're going to do with this.
that actually triggers me because I just got a show pad for Christmas.
Yeah.
I had
send an
waited.
email. Send an email before February 14th. So just send it to Amazon. Go on to their customer service and say you better not freaking charge for your.
Can we
device.
tell
I would
Alexa to
switch
do
to
that?
Google so quickly.
Can we?
Google Gemini is getting better. I'll just tell you. You know, it may be that's a solution for you.
Or Apple.
Yeah, Alexa sucks.
Well, Apple is going to own the market because they're waiting to be the very last person to develop this technology. So it'll probably be the best and it'll be the easiest, and they'll probably hook you for free.
Boom! Amazon has lost another contender.
Yeah, but does Amazon really?
I'm
care?
going to go home
No,
and ask
and that's
Alexa
the
why she
issue.
sucks.
That's why nobody moves to like cable or what have you.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That's why I have
It's a whole
cable and satellite
convenience
dish.
thing.
Yeah, I guess you just get used to it. All right. Well, you know what? Now we're moving on, Mark, to our pick of the day.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
All right. This is kind of like a thread of chaos here. So you're going to have to tell us what needs to be done. Let's look at that plug there. You got to like that
Very
plug.
nice.
There
Yeah,
you go.
Very,
All right.
very
All right.
good.
All right.
Get it on Amazon.
There you go.
Well, first of all,
but you got to do it soon before
Ask
they-
Alexa.
There you go.
all right. Well, after this train wreck, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, there you
If
go.
like
Okay,
this
thank
kind
you.
of stuff. Please comment. Let us know what kind of whiskey
Did
you
you
want to drink.
do your tagline about heaven can wait?
I'm working up to it.
Okay.
Now that these guys are having 4 whiskeys today,
Yes.
you guys need to drink responsibly because heaven can wait.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
All right. So we have the 4 whiskeys here. Which one is moving on to the finals? Is it Bullhead's Bourbon, Breckenridge Distillers High Proof, Templeton Fortitude Bourbon, or Barrel Foundation?
I kind of like yellow. Yellow is my pick, I think.
I'll go ahead and choose yellow too. It's a lot milder than red. I like the high rye version.
All right.
Mark, before you reveal, does the ranking matter at all, or is it just the number one spot?
Just the number 1 spot
Okay.
moves on. The other ones fall out.
Yeah, I think I'll go with yellow too. It's mild.
All right. Well, yellow is Barrel Foundation.
Okay.
That's the blend of straight bourbons from Kentucky, Indiana, Tennessee, and Maryland.
All right.
5 to 9 years old, 100 proof, $60.
$60.
And you are turning into connoisseurs. That was my number one.
Oh,
good job.
Look at us, Mike. Way to go.
How about that?
All right.
I
like
had
that.
yellow Barrel Foundation number one.
Yeah.
I had the red, which is Templeton Fortitude Bourbon number two.
Okay.
I had Bullhead's Bourbon, the blue, number three. And green Breckenridge Distillers High Proof number four.
I was almost right on the money, but the green has this turpentine taste that's actually a little tasty.
Yeah. And red was just a little too hot for me. So there you go. All right. Well,
I like the red.
You know, I'm glad that we're becoming connoisseurs. That makes me feel so good.
I don't know about that. I can't see you talking about finishes and flavor profiles. That just doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
to
if
me.
he doesn't say low burn,
He's
it's
like-
not a real
Yeah, he's
Nathan
like,
taste.
Oh wow.
He's semi-connoisseur. He talks about corks and price and
Yeah,
bottle shapes.
yeah.
And
yeah, sure.
All right. Well, you know what, Mike? We're about out of time. We want to thank our listeners for joining the program. Listeners, we want to hear from you. Visit techtimeradio.com and click on Be a Caller to ask us a question in our talkback system. You know, it was great having everybody back in the studio. Doing a solo episode is just not as fun. So let me tell you this. Always remember the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. We'll see you next week.
later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on Tech Time Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at Tech Time Radio, remember, mum's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.